This is my boring life. Welcome to the show.
All right, gang. Welcome to another episode of My Boring Life. So, of course, we're back in the car. We've got a few errands to run. We're going to mail some bills for my mom. Gonna hit up Sam's Club. And we're gonna go to CVS so I can put some money on a card that my mom uses to play the games on her tablet. So that is what we have lined up today in my boring life. How's everything going with you guys? I hope good. Please feel free to leave comments. I'm Chris. Say hi. I'm okay with that. So I wanted to tell you a story about growing up in Germany. Growing up in Germany was super cool. As a youngster and as a teenager. As a youngster, we had a movie studio close by to us where a lot of big movies were filmed. Das Boot was filmed there, if I remember right. Brass Target with George Kennedy back in the 70s. And that movie in particular I wanted to bring up because we were often selected as extras in those movies. So I got to be an extra. I was basically a kid in a camp playing soccer, along with a couple of my buddies who were also selected. And we got to be on set with Sophia Loren and George Kennedy. So that was kind of cool. But the point that I want to bring up about this studio is when I was a teenager, and I'm pretty sure it was me and my buddy Paul, we snuck into the Bavarian Studios while they were filming Babes In Toyland with Drew Barrymore, Keanu Reeves, and Pat Moridi, I can't remember his name. He was Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. And so we snuck onto the studio grounds while they were filming, and Drew Barrymore was sitting there up on a porch on one of these fake houses, and we were like, "Hey, Drew." And she's like, "Are you guys American?" And we're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, come up and talk." So we went up on this porch on this fake house, and we sat there with Drew Barrymore and talked for, I'm going to say, at least an hour. Sometimes some studio people would walk by and, she would say it's okay. So that was just a pretty incredible experience, hanging with Drew Barrymore. Now, granted, she's like 12, 13 at the time. Paul and I are probably 16, 17. And Paul's little brothers were extras in the movie. It was Babes In Toyland. I don't know if I mentioned it. That was the movie they were filming. And she was just super cool. Super cool. You could tell that back then she was looking for attention and not the attention of being on a movie set, more like friendship. So we talked, and we talked about pretty much nothing, if you know what I mean. We were just like, yeah, hey, we're here. We were in a rock band at the time, Blizzard Rocks. Myself, Paul, Sean, Kayakagi, and Glenn McGregor. So that was the original version of Blizzard. We were a hair band, good times. But so we talked to her about that we were in a band, and she was just so excited that there were some Americans to talk to. So after about an hour being there, you know, she had to do her stuff. She's obviously working. She did invite us to a cast party that night. That's a story for another day. But if I remember right, when we left, we went to the submarine, the U-boat that was used in Das Boat display, and walked through it. Now, the one thing I can't remember is if we skipped school to go there. I don't think so, because, like I said, Paul's brothers were extras in the movie, so I don't think that we skipped school because they would have been there. And now that I'm thinking about it, was it Paul or was it my other friend Scott? Scott Goss. Anyways, there was two of us. It was a good time. Alright, I need to run in here to Sam's Club. I'll put you on my chest mount so you can have a point of view. And we'll continue this conversation from inside the car when we get back from inside Sam's Club. Alright, gang, as always, now you're gonna have my point of view for while we're in the stores. Once again for Mom. Another mission accomplished. Like I said, always park close to the cart corral. The cart corral is your friend. And park as far away from the store as possible so you get more exercise. All right, let's get in that air conditioning. All right, we got 2 stops in the books. Sweaty out there, a little hot, I mean, making me sweat. And 1 more stop to go. So yeah, that was my Drew Barrymore experience. For a kid, she was pretty awesome. You could tell that her maturity, even though she wanted to have friends, was probably at a higher level than a normal 13-year-old, for obvious reasons. She's just probably traveling everywhere and making movies. And that's what happens. But that was good times. There were a lot of other movies that came through where they had extras. There was even one when I was a little kid. And when I say little, I mean like 3rd or 4th grade, where they had made a movie that was a musical, and the vocals weren't strong enough from what they recorded. It was kids singing. So they recruited about 10 of us kids to go down to the studio and sing to make the the vocals stronger in the movie. Interesting, but fun. And just so you know, they actually paid. It wasn't like you were doing this for free. Let's see if I remember some prices. For Brass Target, which was the movie with George Kennedy and Sophia Loren, I want to say we got paid 25 marks, which was the currency at the time in Germany before euros, for just to go in and be fitted for our clothes. And at the time, 25 marks, it was 2 to 1, so that was about $12.50. And then, if I remember right, each day was 50 or 60 marks. And all we did was sat around until they said, okay, get ready, and then we played soccer. And then sat around and played soccer, and that was for 2 days. So I want to say we made 120 marks for the 2 days. So that would be $60 plus the $12.50, so $72.50. And you got to remember, we're kids. You know, we're 4th, 5th grade, and here we're getting almost $75 on the weekend. Hey, we'll take it. And if I remember right, the singing thing was a one-day thing, which lasted, I'm sure, only 2 to 3 hours. And it was another 50 to 60 mark. That must have been the going rate, you know, to have a standard fee of 50 to 60 marks per day. So 25 to 30 bucks per day as a little kid. You know, you can't complain. You got to take that money. I'll definitely get into, as we move on with this series, I'll move into being a teenager in Germany. Gotta be careful. Don't want to get myself in trouble. Or I don't want to get my friends in trouble either. We had some good times. All right, onward. We're heading to CVS to put some money on a kind of like one of those temporary Visa cards, Go Card, whatever they're called, so that my mom can play the games on her tablet. She likes playing the slot machines. I don't blame her. As you can see by that camera, we're right in front of CVS, but due to all these little things popping up in the road, we're gonna have to go around the back way to get to it, which we will do no problem. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's episode of My Boring Life. We will definitely keep doing this. Please feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Thinking about going to Las Vegas in a week or two to add a little excitement to my boring life. What do you think of that? Let me know. Then I can do an episode from Vegas. But thanks again for watching. I am Chris. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Wink.